I want to talk about the Make America Healthy Again movement, the MAHA movement. And this is really important, right? I love the intention behind it, all right? You got, people saying we need to remove artificial whatever it is from food and packaging and colorings and flavors or whatever. Although I don't think that's the main concern. The main concern is what happens to your endothelial function, because there's tons of processed food packaging companies and all this kind of stuff, and every cycle or whatever, they're like changing the packaging for the latest fad. We have more protein, more fiber, no food dyes, or whatever the thing is that is in season to try to market to the consumer. But forget all of that. We only need one label. There's only one label that we need to add to all food packaging. All right? Just one. Just one. And that is, on what scale does this food damages the endothelial cells? That's it. That's all we need to add. Just that one label. Forget about the food colorings, the BPAs, the PFAS, all that stuff is essential. It's cool. Definitely switch from plastic to glass whenever possible. Avoid processed foods and artificial colorings or whatever. But none of that matters. Absolutely none of that matters if the endothelial cells, which line your arteries, your blood vessels, are damaged from consuming oils, and not just seed oils, all oils. It doesn't matter if it's avocado oil, corn oil, coconut oil. All oils damage the endothelial cells. Nobody should be consuming oil if they're concerned about being healthy. So that's what kind of makes me a little when it's like MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, because I love the intention, but what is really healthy, right? All animal proteins have been shown to cause cancer. Period. Since like the 50s. Okay, I think there was a study done on like rats, and they fed them casein at 5%, no cancer. At 20% protein, cancer turned on just like a switch. They did it again at 12%, turns on the cancer. That's all animal proteins. But forget about cancer, because if we eliminated cancer, we would only extend the human lifespan by about 3 years. What's really killing people is heart disease. That's what's really killing people. Type 2 diabetes, kidney failure, obesity. That's killing people. That's what's really killing people. If we do autopsies on the Eskimos, on the kings, the pharaohs, the aristocrats, they all had heart disease because they all eat foods that were rich in nutrients. We're not supposed to eat this much fat. We're not supposed to eat this much protein. We're not supposed to eat this much meat. We're not supposed to. In remote places in India, China, Africa, where they don't eat as much, if not no oils whatsoever, very little to almost no meat, they don't have obesity, heart disease, kidney failure, type 2 diabetes. A whole food, plant-based diet is ultimately what does not harm endothelial function. Now, I've said endothelial quite a bit throughout the video. What the heck are the endothelial cells? What are they? Endothelial cells line the blood vessels. They help produce a gas called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide, that's your life force. It gives you energy. When you exercise and your blood vessels dilate, that's nitric oxide working. The only thing we need to put on food labels on all food products is on a scale of 1 to 10, how much damage does this particular food item do to your endothelial cells? Because if you look at all the starches, rice, beans, potatoes, corn, oatmeal, they don't damage the endothelial cells. Now, when you're looking at foods that are high in fat, they damage the endothelial cells. Straight up oil, all oils damage the endothelial cells. All animal foods, by default, being high in fat and proteins, they damage the endothelial cells. So that's really what I want to get at. Everything else is cool. You know, get your glass Tupperware. But, you know, it's eating a bag of chips that don't have any artificial food dyes. It's not going to do you any service. What's really going to help is avoiding the oils, avoiding frying things, avoiding animal foods, avoiding processed foods, and just eating a whole food plant-based diet. Oil-free, low sodium. Here's another example. Dr. Kempner, back in the 1930s, had patients come from all around the world to treat obesity, kidney failure, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and on a diet of nothing but white rice, fruit, sugar, and a multivitamin, reversed obesity, type 2 diabetes, kidney failure, hypertension when there were no hypertensive medications available. In World War II, when the Axis powers invaded the neighboring countries and took their livestock, heart disease plummeted. As soon as Big Mustache Man was taken out, the livestock came back, the lamb chops came back, and so did all the heart disease. It's the only thing. It's really the biggest thing that matters is your endothelial cell function. If you eat foods that damage your endothelial cells, you're going to end up with disease. It's a food-borne illness. Most of the diseases that's causing the majority of death in westernized populations come from this excess of nutrient-rich foods. We're eating way too much. And it's just point blank simple. All oils and all animal proteins damage endothelial cell function. Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn worked as a surgeon for the Cleveland Clinic and had patients come in. He asked for about 24 patients so he could still fulfill his surgical obligations, and managed to reverse heart disease with a whole food plant-based diet. Heart disease is our number one killer. It's our number one killer, hands down. We take care of that, and the burden on our healthcare system will just poof. I think he made a joke. If you want to be Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn made a joke. If you want to be a surgeon and set up shop in remote places in India, Africa, China, you know, you're better off selling pencils because nobody there has heart disease in those remote places. As soon as you enter the westernized or industrialized places where there is an excess and abundance of food, you're going to have heart disease. Plain and simple. So, yeah. Make America healthy again. I love the intention behind it. But what we really need to focus on is, does this food product damage our endothelial cells and reduce our ability to produce nitric oxide? That's it. Nitric oxide clears plaque from your arteries. If you're damaging that, well, then you're going to build up plaque. Does this food product damage your endothelial cells? If the answer is yes, probably shouldn't eat it.